Yes, it's going to get a little rough, but we are up for the challenge because we live in challenging times indeed. But as long as we seek truth, folks, it lives in us. And I have found in my search that truth is a living spirit, and it wants to be known, but it relies upon us to seek it out, and then it becomes alive. All the answers, such as the purpose of life and all those other answers, await us, and we are on a quest during this show and all the shows to come. We've got plenty of questions, but we expect to get to the truth, and I hope you come along for the ride. We are the humble seekers of truth, and if we look at the enemy of truth, folks, the opposite of love, we will find many disturbing aspects, and tonight we're going to look deep into the religion of the Illuminati, and I'd like to welcome my new co-host, Professor Jeffrey Grupp, to the show. Jeff, how are you?
Doing great. Still can't quite believe it. This is just great. I'm really honored that you've asked me to be your co-host, and this is going to be incredible. Like I was telling you on email over the weekend, we're going to look back in a year and say, we sure have come a long ways, and this is the start of it.
Yes, indeed. I expect the same thing. You know, I've been looking for a co-host for more than a year, and I tell you, I shared this with my listeners. We were about 2 minutes into the interview last week, and I knew in my spirit that you were the one I was waiting for. Just like when I saw my wife for the first time, I instantly fell in love with her. I knew she was the one, and it was a similar thing. I haven't fallen in love with you, but I tell you what, I am sure seeing things in a similar way with you, and I think that both of us can take this show to another level. And I hope my current listeners are willing to come along for the ride, because I really do want to take this a little bit in a different direction, in the direction that you are taking your own show. But before I go to that, Jeff, you're a published author. Corporatism is the book that we talked about last week, and then you have another book called Telementation. We'll get to that in a few days. That's a fantastic book. And then you taught at Purdue University. You're also married with children. You're a family guy, just like me. And you have a great research website called abstractatom.com, and that's Atom, A-T-O-M, folks, abstractatom.com. And what else can you tell us about yourself, Jeff?
Well, I'm a big survivalist and very much into firearms and meditation. The most important thing in my life is my family. That's I'm not just saying that. Anybody who knows me knows that I'm really, really devoted to my family, just probably because that's what gives me the most joy and happiness and peace. It really changed me when I had my first daughter, Amelia. Before that was the case, I didn't really matter if I had children or not. Just kind of seemed, I didn't really understand what it was all about. And then when my wife was pregnant, I started getting excited. And then as soon as she was born, everything just changed about me. Well, in a lot of ways, it just became, filled with more compassion and happiness and peace and things like that. So, but I've got 3 books published: The Telescreen, Telementation, and Corporatism. Telementation is the one that sticks out there. That's about meditation and spirituality, and Corporatism and the Telescreen are both about basically just how this Illuminati New World Order system works, how we're, unless you decide, well, everybody's a slave in it, unless you just simply don't go along with it, then you're free. It's that easy. It's just amazing how, people think that there's no way out of this thing. No, all you do is just say no. I mean, saying no means you don't go to the grocery store so much, you start planting food in your backyard. You start drinking rainwater and put it through a filter rather than drinking tap water. I mean, it's that simple. Okay, there is
Yes.
no prison if you're just saying no to it. So those are some basic things about me. I'm just really excited to be starting this journey with the Don't Tread on Me listeners.
Yeah, we're excited too, and that's where we really agree. Is life is just a series of choices, and that's what I try to share with the listeners. I was a clone once too, just out there buying the American deception, which is success, materialism. The more you get, the better off you are, and what a hoax that turned out to be. I didn't even start to become the man that I am now, and I'm not finished. I'm still on a quest of evolving as a better person, but I didn't start to develop anything of substance until I lost everything, and that was a real blessing. But we're going to talk tonight about the religion of the Illuminati, but let me warn the listeners that this material is going to be pretty disturbing, but I promise that we will end the show in a solution, because you know, and I never will change, that I'm a solution-oriented guy, and it really is about how to overcome evil, but we got to know what the evil is. And Jeff, you've done quite a bit of research into this area. Why don't you get us started on this dark spiritual side of the Illuminati?
Yeah, the reason my main background in knowing about this dark spirituality of the Illuminati, which I call dark ecstasy, is simply because it's in every single human. Because my main theory as to why that is, well, it's more than a theory. I think I made a film about it. Well, a lot of the film was about this. It's called The Illuminati or the Nephilim. And you can prove that we've been engineered to have this within us. It's a dark spiritual euphoria that we can all cultivate within ourselves if we choose to do so or do so by accident. And I did inadvertently in the 1990s without knowing what I was doing. So let me back up here a little bit. Just explain exactly what I'm talking about. All humans on planet Earth have the ability to generate a very, let's just say, an ecstasy of pure darkness. Okay, now, often when troops go to Iraq, they will take part in, without even knowing really what they're doing, they'll just fall into these patterns of thrill killing, and this happened in the Vietnam War. It's happened over and over through history in various wars where the troops all can just lose their minds and develop certain kinds of ritualized thrill killing and so forth, and it becomes a very exciting thing to them. What that is the very tip of the iceberg of something deeper that's within us, which has been written about with various serial killers. When they do their serial killing, it's been documented that some have reported to feel a sort of high when they're doing their rituals, their dissections and whatnot. And it's very peculiar that we would have this physiological response of a physical high, feeling of a high in these kinds of scenarios. And basically what happened with me was I became a very extremely ardent Buddhist in the 1990s, early 1990s. I was coming out of high school, and I was told, all my life that everything's going to be wonderful and there's going to be, life is going to be grand. And I got to college.